now I understand that if whether you're the oldest sibling, middle sibling, youngest sibling, somebody's always watching.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you set a good example.
Welcome to another episode of Sit Down with Shelley, where we do what? We make it make sense. Thank you guys for tuning in with us today. Today is Wednesday, October the 1st, 2025. You already know what we're here to do. We're here to talk another real life, real person, real situations. So today, guys, we are going to talk about the middle child syndrome. Are you the middle child? You the oldest child? You the youngest child? Well, where does that middle child really play in effect in your family? I would like to welcome you guys today to a special guest. You guys saw her last week. She is my beautiful daughter. She is the middle child. And not only is she the middle child on her mother's side, she's also the middle child on her father's side. So listen, we're going to dive on in, have a real conversation, and we're going to welcome Miss Irie to a sit down with Shelley, where we're going to make it make sense today. Okay, let's dive on in. Okay, Irie, so you are the middle child, the epitome of the middle child on for us and your dad.
Yep.
So in being the middle child, how does that feel and how does that look? And where did it place you being the middle child on both sides? Was it a difference or kind of the same?
On my mom's side, being the middle child is kind of being like the oldest child because the oldest sibling didn't act like the oldest sibling. And because I was next up, I was the more responsible one. So I played the role of the older sibling. On my dad's side, I played the role of the middle sibling. I have younger siblings, but I have two older siblings. So I didn't have to fill in that older sibling role.
Okay.
And on my dad's side, we're a little bit more scattered.
Yeah.
So we weren't under the same roof growing up. But on your side, middle child syndrome, I played the oldest sibling only because my oldest sibling, they was doing their own thing. They was doing their own thing. Malone was living her own life in her own world. And so growing up, I was playing the older sibling. Even now, all my siblings think I'm a walking ATM. They think I'm a walking ATM. So
welcome to mother's side. I mean, I'm glad I'm able now to share it because welcome.
But yeah, I just played that more responsible older sibling role. And I don't really mind because I already played that role in my career.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher and I've always worked with kids, so I was always relatable, older big sister to everybody.
Yeah.
So being that in real life with my siblings, it didn't really play a part. It played more of a part when I was younger than older. Now it don't really bother me. I don't really care. When I was younger, maybe, but now that I have a career and I see how impactful I can be, it don't bother me.
So you said that there's a difference of how it impacted you when you were younger as opposed to you being an adult. Speak on a little bit on how did that, because I'm going to speak on how I saw it from a parent perspective. But I want you to speak on, when you guys were younger, like you said, you had Milan, you had Kaya, and then you're in the middle, and then you got Shy, and then you got Dude, so you're smack in the middle. So when you look at younger, what did that look like for you being the middle child? Like,
it was more responsibility put on me because Kaya and Milan was literally doing their own thing, living their own life, barely followed the rules, and was just doing whatever. Me, I followed the rules. I did everything I was supposed to do. So I was looked at as the more responsible one. So I redo this. I redo this. Your siblings are looking at you.
Yeah.
They looking up to you. You have to set an example for them. But then it's just like, who's setting the example for me?
You.
So it's like I had to learn the hard way and do all the hard things and make sure I'm setting an example for
Yeah.
my older and younger siblings.
Yeah.
To make sure that they have somebody to look up to. And I was the only one who, I'm not going to say I didn't follow the rules. I'm not going to say I wasn't sneaky and I didn't do things. The only thing about me that was different from my older siblings was that I was a little bit more honest than them.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I was like, look, I'm going here, I'm going XYZ, and they don't know how to lie. So, they just suck at lying. Like, they just get caught up. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing about me, but...
Y'all don't be mad at y'all sister that she said y'all lie good.
They just aren't good liars. Maybe I watch too much Law and Order.
Yes.
I don't know. But I was more honest about what I was doing, who I was with, where I was going. Did I lie about sometimes as I got older in high school? Of course, we all did. Yes. But when I said I would be back at a certain time, I was back at a certain time. Maybe I stepped off to go somewhere else, but if I said I was going to movies, I'm going to end up at the movies. Yeah. So it's like everything wasn't a lie. Yeah. They lied about everything. Just like the whole thing. Nothing ever made sense with their lies. Yeah. So I think that was the difference. But as I get older, it's like I get it. Everybody has their own path. Yeah. Every child lives with we all live with the same parents, but they can get like a different portion or a different side of parenting that all of us don't get. Like Milan got their side of parenting that I may not have experienced. Right. So especially with her and Kaya being the firstborn, they may have seen things because they're older that I didn't see. I got probably maybe a better version because our parents were in a better position, more mature, had a lot of growing to do. At that point, I'm the third kid, so you become a better parent. You should learn. You should learn and become a better parent as you have more kids. So I didn't see and experience the things that they did. Yeah. So I got a better version of you guys. Yeah. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But.
Yeah, and it's true because even when you were speaking on how Milan and Kaya would lie about certain things. And, that was my pet peeve with you guys. Like, just don't lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, we can work through anything. You're going to make mistakes in life. You're going to go through things in life. Just don't lie to me. And they weren't good lies because
they weren't.
I would always catch them. And
I would just be sitting back like, I could have helped you with that one. Like, that was not a good lie.
And y'all knew me very well. You probably knew me. Well, no, they knew me too. And it's like, if I ask the question, I already know the answer. I'm just really seeing if you're going to answer me honestly. Because I believe that, that's what it should be, where in parenthood, you should be able to have that type of communication. And not saying that everything was perfect, because we know that it wasn't. That's for a whole nother episode. Yeah. But nothing was perfect. But at the end of the day, as a mom, I just always believe that, okay, if you're honest with me, I can better help guide you. Okay, yeah, you made that mistake, or it was bad, or it might not have been as bad. And I used to always tell y'all, it's not as bad as you all may think it is, but it gets worse once you lie. Because now I didn't forget about what you did. I'm now attacking the fact that you think I'm boo-boo the fool and you're lying to me. So by you being the middle kid, do you think that how do you think your siblings saw you? Because like you said, because they, like you said, they lied all the time, wasn't good at it, but then you learned because you were seeing what they were getting in trouble for. So how did that place you, in looking at that, and what made you say, okay, they get in trouble? So if I'm just honest with it,
I literally learned from them. I did the opposite of what they were doing. I knew they were getting in trouble for X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to do A, B, and C. Yeah. I wasn't going to do the same thing that I saw them getting in trouble for. But they definitely looked at me, Milan specifically, looked at me as, I forget everything, whatever she won, y'all give her. But that's because I was actually doing what I was supposed to do. Yeah. I was going to school, getting good grades. And even if I didn't get good grades, I was harder on myself than anybody else. So I knew what I had to do to get better grades and go to extra tutoring, go see my teacher after school, study, whatever the case may be. I was harder on myself. I didn't accept bad grades. You guys didn't accept bad grades. But even before you guys can even get on me about bad grades, I was already hard on myself. 9 times out of 10, I was already crying about the grades that I got.
Yes.
So it really was like no point for y'all to get on me. I mean, of course, y'all got on me, reminding me like what I'm supposed to do. What do you expect from me?
Yeah.
But y'all didn't come down hard on me because I had already came down hard on myself. But I also did what I was supposed to do around the house. I was helping out with my younger siblings. So if I asked to go outside, it wasn't like, no, you didn't do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I did everything I needed to do. So it was no reason for y'all to say no.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know, whatever reason. But even going out with my friends, I made sure my homework was done. I made sure I did everything so that when I did go out, and I always had a job. So I was rarely asking for money to go out.
Yeah.
If I was going out asking to go out with my friends, I had my own money. I might need a transportation.
Right.
A little pickup, a little drop off. But most times, even then, I was on Metro. I had no problem getting on the train, getting on the bus, going to go meet up with my friends. So it wasn't a reason for you guys to tell me no, because I was always doing what I was supposed to do, if not 10 times more. I stayed in sports. I stayed active.
Yeah.
I was good in school, but I had my days, my years where I wasn't good because I talk too much. But for the most part, I was good in school. So like I said, it wasn't really a reason for y'all to tell me no. So they looked at it as, oh, every time I ask for something, y'all say yes or y'all give it to her. But it was because I was doing what I was supposed to do. And if I said I was going somewhere, I was getting it. That might not have been my first location.
Yeah.
But I ended up there, and anytime y'all called, I answered. I wasn't declining calls. I was turning my phone off. I wasn't doing that. I would answer my phone. And if I had to step away from where I was at to talk, that's what I was going to do. But Milan probably looked at me as Miss Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah. Do you think being the middle child, I know the answer for it, but do you think that you was invisible, or do you think that too much was put on you? I know you and I had a conversation some years ago about you being the middle child and the standards and things that I put on you. Talk a little bit about that and how that made you feel, because you are the middle child, and I know that I think because of the fact that you saw them getting in trouble and you knew what not to do to not get in trouble or whatever, or your thing was like more minimal, I can say.
Yeah.
What does that look like? How did you feel? Because I remember we talk about standards and how I saw you. Speak a little bit about that and that dynamic.
It was at that time. Yes, I was like, oh my God, why I always got to be the example? Why are they always looking at me to do X, Y, and Z? And like I said before, I wasn't the oldest sibling. I was the middle sibling. So I needed that image to be put in front of me to know, okay, what am I supposed to look? Who am I supposed to look up to?
Yeah.
Who do I go to? Who do I look for to do certain things and to be a certain way growing up, trying to navigate life as a teenager, as a girl, and things like that. So yes, it was a lot at the time. Now, looking back, I understand it. But as a kid, then I hated it. I'm like, oh my goodness, why I gotta be this way for Shine? Why I gotta be this way for Josiah? Why I gotta be this way for Milan and Kaya? Even though they are the oldest, and I should be looking up to them. But like I said, they had their own thing going on. They were trying to figure out who they were too. So now I get it. I understand it. But back then, no, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I hated it. I hated being a responsible sibling. That's why I feel like I always wanted to go out with my friends. Because I didn't have to be the example when I go out. When I'm at home, yes, but I can get away. I can go have fun. And not that I was running away from home. Home wasn't bad. But it was like, I need to get away from here. But it was like, let me get out of here, because if I stay here, I will do this, I will do that, I will do this, I will watch them, I will do this. So I'm like, nope, can't do it. But now I understand that if whether you're the oldest sibling, middle sibling, youngest sibling, somebody's always watching you. And you want to make sure you set a good example so that when your younger siblings get older, now it's like, okay, I set a good example for you. This is who you are today. I could look at Cheyenne and Josiah and be like, okay, I knew I set a good example for y'all because of who you are today. So whether you're older, middle, or younger, somebody's always looking at you as a role model, whether you feel like they are or not. Somebody's always going to be looking at you.
And I always, appreciated that about you because you were my go-to kid. And I think it's because you just for whatever reason, like you said, you were looking at your two older siblings. And then like I said, you're in it, with them. We've always been a blended family. And it was just at that, I guess the way we were, our dynamics, it was so much so where, you know, and you looking at them, I knew or I had a sense of security with you that I could put a little bit more responsibility on you. And was it fair? Probably not, especially when you look back at it now and all that I did put on you because you were the go-to kid. 'Cause we was always chasing Milan and Kaya, and then of course, Shy and Dude, they're just younger, but you being that third child and looking at you all's different dynamics, you were like the responsible one. Okay, so listen, we're talking about, being the middle child. And so just for because we are a big blended family, it's five of you guys. And so, identity comes often, not from being handed to you, but just by the different curves, in your family dynamic and being the middle child in a long, in a large family. How does that carry like a deep sense of independence, your creativity? And but just how does it define you and define you in our family dynamic?
I'm the more independent sibling, but I'm gonna go back first. I never felt overlooked, even though my older siblings were doing a lot, they were into a lot, whatever the case may be. A lot of attention was put onto them. I never felt overlooked. I never felt like I didn't have attention or anything like that because I was also doing good things, even though they were getting in trouble for X, Y, and Z. I was always still on the right path, doing what I needed to do. So I was always acknowledged. Right, there was an honor roll assembly, y'all was there. Right, there was a track meet, cheerleading competition, double dutch competition, soccer game, whatever. Every sport I had played, every activity I've been in, y'all was there. Y'all showed up, supporting me. So I never felt overlooked, put to the side, or anything like that. It was just that I was the independent one. I was the responsible one. So I just had a little bit more responsibility than them. But it also helped me with my identity because now I am still an independent woman. I am very much responsible. It goes into my career. It helps me with my personal life, me as a wife, me as a mom, me as a person, and me as a teacher. Yeah. I'm still independent. I don't need nobody for nothing. I don't need nobody. It's great to have a support system. Yeah. I have my people I can call on. My husband is my problem solver. Yeah. And you are always there helping me no matter what. My dad is there. My sisters are there. I have that support system. However, I still don't need nobody. Mm-hmm. I'm not in that sense, like not in a malice way. Just I'm just independent. Mm-hmm. And for certain things, I do need certain people for. But I'm still that strong, independent person, and me being that way as a sibling helped me be that way now. I'm still responsible. I'm a lot of my friends' go-to person when it comes to whatever situation. You want to bust some windows off the car, I'm there. You want to study, I'm there. You need nobody. No, I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying I'm the ride or die friend. I'm there no matter what. I am that person for all my friends. Yeah. No matter what you're going through, if you need an ear, you need a drive, you need some food, you need to go talk, whatever the case may be, I'm always there. I'm that go-to person for everybody. And I don't mind being that go-to person. Yeah. I think it helped me with my career choice. Mm-hmm. I'm always willing to help people. I want to better people. I want to be that mentor and that role model for younger kids because I saw the path that I was going down. Yeah. And I'm like, and then I see the young girls today and I'm like, you are me when I was younger. And now I'm about to help what everybody, my teachers, parents were telling me when I was younger. Yeah. I'm telling you this now so that when you get older, you can change the way you are and see that it's something better. Exactly. So, yeah.
And I that's one thing about all of you all. You all have your own strengths, in who you are and how you guys go about, your lives. And so when you I speak on 5 because I have 5 children, and when I see shows, with children with the middle child, and it's mayhem. And although you all were all different, being raised up in, younger, y'all all still was there for each other. You know what I mean? Good, bad, and
Yes,
being
we always
different.
say we can mess with each other, but nobody else can mess with us.
Amen. 'Cause y'all knew y'all could not come in the house talking about something. You let somebody beat up on your sibling. They would have gotten another beating. Like it would have been me and dad on that tail. So they already knew. Don't play with us. And I did that because I just know how important it is for your siblings to have a really good relationship, because all don't. All doesn't have that. And I always wanted you guys, no matter the age difference, I always wanted to make sure we did activities together. And you all was able to see each other, didn't always understand each other, but see each other in a sense, because at the end of the day, when I'm gone, I need to know that y'all gonna rock out for each other, and that y'all not gonna let the outside world come in and interrupt anything, that you all have going on. And I know that even though with Milan and Kaya and even Shy being as, because y'all get a lot of it from me, with each other or with the world, I know that at the end of the day, y'all are going to be there for each other, good, bad, or indifferent. Not a lot of bad disagreements, miscommunications, or whatever, but I know y'all going to rock out for each other. So when you look at, you being the middle, and then you having 2 older ones and having 2 younger ones, for our family dynamic, it seemed like you were able to bond with the 2 older and still bond with your 2 younger, although you and Shy are 5-year difference, and then you got Dude, which is a 10-year difference down. How do you see that dynamic between you all? Because you were able to get along with Milan and Kaya and be able to relate to Cheyenne. So you were young enough to relate to Cheyenne and Josiah, but you were still old enough to relate to Milan and Pooh. Talk about that type of dynamic, because a lot of times, even though people are close in age with the older 2 and the younger 2, there's still a disconnect there. So talk about, you guys.
I don't think it was ever a disconnect, only because like you said, you made sure that we did activities together. Like we were a family. We went on trips together, we did road trips together, we played games in the house, we had movie nights. Like we did all of those family things. So it was never a disconnect. We were always so close. Yes, everybody had their own thing going on. And I think that for the younger siblings, they were able to see us all do different paths.
Yes.
And I think that's the only difference with all of us. I went more on a straight path. I went through school, no problems. I went straight from high school to college, straight from college into a career, straight into a family. Like I did everything the traditional, the right way, the more basic way, you'll say. They had a little bit more loops and turns and some standstills, and then they would jump forward, and then they had the same path but just different obstacles. And so but we all got to the same point eventually in life. And I think that Josiah and Cheyenne was able to see those different dynamics. So that gave them a more well-rounded type of just a different outlook on life. Like, all my siblings didn't go the same way and do the same thing. They all 3 of them went different ways, but they're all still the same. They all have their own family. They're all doing their own thing. So that was good for them to see. But it was never a disconnect. We all had our different relationships with each other. And like I said, that's because Milan and Kaya, they were older, so they may have seen things that I didn't see. And then with me coming in, I was the youngest sibling to them, and they probably didn't like me a couple times. I'm irritated. I'm the new baby coming in. I know I'm very irritating. I probably was a very irritating child.
Milan pinched
very stubborn, wanted my way, and so I'm pretty sure it was a little tit for tat sibling thing going on there. But with Cheyenne, I don't no, we had the same thing. Cheyenne used to irritate me too. And y'all got a little bit more softer in parenting.
We did.
Once Cheyenne came around. The whoopings that Kaya, Milan, and I got, Josiah and Cheyenne did not get. Still to this day, they probably need it. Cheyenne more so than Josiah. But very more softer on the parenting side. Gentle parenting going on in the last, how old is Cheyenne? 23 years of very much gentle parenting before gentle parenting came a thing. And if she was a little bit more stern, they were more stern on Cheyenne, Cheyenne would have been right. Cheyenne would have been right early on. Now, Cheyenne trying to get right now.
But it's never too late.
But it's never too late. It's never too late. But she would have got it done early if they was a little bit more stern on her, gave her a little bit more couple whoopings like we did. Because we got whoopings for any and everything. I remember we messed up the blinds in the new apartment, and we got whooped for that.
But listen, they didn't have to buy any new blinds to put back up there, and we did.
They should have been a little bit more stern on Cheyenne. Josiah is no problem. Josiah didn't see everything, so he like, I don't want to go through what they're going through. So he's just the perfect child at this point.
Yeah.
But Cheyenne, on the other hand, that's their fault.
It is, but she's still a great kid.
Let's know she is a good kid.
All of my kids are great kids, and all of my kids ride out for each other. They ride out for their mama. They ride out for their dads, because we are all a blended family. And it was just one of those things for me where you all cannot be at odds. I remember, just off the rip real quick, I remember how Milan and Cheyenne got into it. And I'm like, okay, it ain't got to do with me. It's a y'all thing, but fix it. Because,
we always had sibling rivalry, but we really never had like beef. Like we all fought. I fought Milan because we were supposed to clean up a room. They sat in the middle of the carpet, picked up the lip balls, and then one helped. So I took a Nike boot and I threw it at her head. We all fought. Yeah. We all fought because we all annoyed each other. We irritated each other. That's what siblings did. But we never had real beef.
Yeah.
We never had, I hate you. Me and Milan more so struggled with our relationship because we were closer in age, and Milan used to steal my clothes, do all this stuff. And it was just like, oh my gosh. Like, stressed me out to the max. Yeah. But regardless, when we were outside, it was, we could say what we want to each other and not degrade each other, but we would talk crazy to each other in the house. But outside, nobody couldn't disrespect us in front of each other. Like, it just wasn't going to happen.
And that's true, because I saw that, even though y'all went with each other, y'all would not. Like, I remember you sticking up for Milan in school. I remember you getting into fights because you was not letting nobody.
Even though Milan used to piss me off,
but y'all
you wasn't going to talk. Yeah, you wasn't going to sit in front of me and talk trash. Rather, you heard me say a smart comment or not. You wasn't going to do. I wasn't. Yeah. Even if you felt comfortable enough to do it, I was going to check you.
Yeah.
I was going to fight you because I've been there. Like, you just wasn't going to do it. But yeah.
And that's what I always loved about y'all. Like, no matter the miscommunication, any discord that was going on in the family, because we're a blended family. You got different personalities, different backgrounds, different upbringings, and all of that in one household, and how do you see how it could have translated into you, because of you being the middle child, being the peacemaker, being the referee sometimes. Mm-hmm. How did that play a factor? Did you ever feel like you were the peacemaker, you were the referee between anything, or it's just like a collective of you all just doing you?
I think it was a collective. I may have played referee maybe a couple times, but we never had like big fights or big arguments where it was a referee was needed. Maybe just like both of y'all was wrong or you were wrong and you were right, just to dead it. Because sometimes people just need to hear that you were actually wrong. You weren't right, so just stop. Like, you was the wrong one, this person was right. Yeah. And so maybe a little bit of that. And none of us had a problem with telling each other how it was. Like, all right, now you pissing me off. You did X, Y, and Z. you need to chill out because you're doing too much. Yeah. Or like if you and Milan got into it, like, all right, Milan, you doing too much. Just let Mom say what she gotta say and just let it be that. Like, just be quiet. Just shut up, please. Like, so it was a lot of that with each other. But I feel like we needed that to like humble each other and bring each other back. Like, okay. But I don't, I'm not more so. We didn't fight like that. We had a lot of words with each other because we all have the same attitude that come from you, the same mouth that come from you. And so we're all the same in that aspect. So we all needed somebody to tell us, just shut up. Yeah. For a little minute. Yeah. So. Like y'all probably wanted to tell me a lot because I'm the parent who do too much. Yes. But will still do too much because that's why my kids turned out the way they did because I did too much. But my kids tell me that all the time. So parents keep doing too much. But I appreciate that because when you see looking at you and you know your older siblings and even your younger siblings, you know, you guys like your adaptability of anything that was thrown into our family, you guys were able to adapt. We had no choice but to come up with conflict resolutions, you know, and just to make sure that we didn't fall apart, you know what I mean? Because you can, you know, as siblings, you can fall apart. And you guys never really, you know, stepped into that where I'm not speaking to you for whatever and decades or whatever has gone on. You guys, I can speak on you and Milan a little bit more because you guys were the closer in age at up until one point in time where, you know, you guys will always have the conflict where, you know, you like she was taking the clothes and doing this and doing that. How do you see that translate now into you guys' relationship? And speak on that. Like speak on you and Kaya and then speak on you, Shy, and then you and Dude. Like speak on though, take a couple minutes to speak on those type of y'all relationships independently and how that looks for you guys. Me and Kaya always had like the allure. We were always laugh. That was our thing. Always laughing, watching good movies and laughing. We can crack up all day, rewind a movie 50,000 times, and we'll just be in a room battling because we had to share a room. So we were always in the same space. So that was our thing. And we would just chill. Me and Carly was on the same thing. We want to eat, we want to lay down, we want to chill, we want to be under the covers, in the bed, in a room, watching a movie, watching a show. We had the same vibe. We didn't have to be in the same room and talk. Yeah. And I don't think that's the difference between our sibling dynamic. Like even now as adult lives, we don't talk every day. Right. Or when we do talk and we in the same space, it's like we've been talking every day since the last time we seen each other. Yeah. And I think that's just our personal, especially Milan, me and Kaya, we are just like in our own space as adults. Like we like peace and quiet. We don't outside. It's just too much. Milan may go outside a little bit more than us, but we all like our space. We all like to be in the house. We're homebodies. So that reflects in our relationship. We don't talk everything every day. And we are okay with that. Like, could we be closer? Of course, I feel like everybody can be closer to somebody. Yeah. But nowadays, with what's going on in the world, by the time we get home from work, we tired. We got kids. We just want to chill. So then with Milan, we had a tit for tat relationship. We always was cool, then we'll beef. We was cool, then we'll beef. We was cool, then we'll beef. Milan stressed me out. Milan stressed me out in childhood. Like stressed me out. Man. But now she called me. Whatever she needs, she got it. Yeah. We can talk on the phone. We didn't talk for a whole week straight about Love Island. Like, we can find a good show. We put each other onto good shows or whatever the case may be. So that was just our thing. But like, we are there for one another. We can call on each other for whatever the case may be. Cheyenne and I, she think I'm a walking ATM. That's just what it is. She just think I'm a walking ATM. She think that I got it. Mm-hmm. I don't know what about me flashes a dollar sign and for her to think that I always got it. Maybe because every time she asks me, I say yes. I mean, I should start saying no, so she won't think that I got it. And then we hear something earlier about that, y'all. She was talking about me being more strict. Okay, but she is just like the littler version than me. Yeah. And maybe like the more like free spirited. Yes. Me, I'm on a straight and narrow path. I need a plan. I need to make sure I'm working towards something.
Yes.
She is just like, hey, I'm here, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
And it's a little bit opposite than me, but a little bit of me mixed to her. And I'm just like, girl, get it together. Let's go. Like, I want her to get on the path. But she's just like on her doing her own thing. And then Josiah, he's just a baby. He's just there. He's just there. For him. For him, he's just there. He's literally like all of us put into one, like a good version of all of us put into one.
You did that good.
He is like not as outspoken as we were in school, but he's popular at the same time. Yes. Everybody likes him because he's like, he's not a pick me type of teenager. He's not a go with the crowd teenager. He's just neutral. Yeah. And I think the kids like that about him. The girls like that about him. He's not in no mess. And he's just there. Yeah. But he can get along with anybody like the rest of us. We can all literally get along with anybody. Any setting you put us into, we can all get along with everybody. So, of course, I have my own separate relationship with all of them. Yeah. And it's based on what we've been through younger and how we are growing up as adults.
And that's what it is. And I just want to ask the audience, guys. So look, if you grew up in a family of 5 or more, because hold on, because Ari, dad's side, is a family of what, 12 or 13? Yeah. So can you imagine being the middle child? Where would you even fit at in the middle child of a family of 12 to 13 siblings? That's a lot. But when you look at that, I want you guys to just say, okay, looking at a big family dynamic and you being that middle child, do you think the middle child syndrome is outdated? Or is it, what's the word I want to say? What is it? Underrated? Is the middle child syndrome underrated? I want y'all to ask yourself that question and leave y'all comments and, y'all know where to leave that. Leave them comments in so, we can come back to them questions. So, when you're in this big family, dynamic and, when we say blended because I have a child in love, which is Kaya, and how did you see that, her integrating into our family?
She was always there. She was always there. I don't ever remember like, oh, this is Ivory, this is Kaya. And it was an introduction. She was always there. She was our sister. Like, it was never, this is our stepsister. This is our stepdad. It was like, this is our dad. This is our sister. Yeah. It was never like a introduction family. Even with like the family, we went on family trips with Lee's side of the family, and those were our uncles and our aunts and our granddads and our nanas and our aunties. Like, it was never an introduction of this is one family, and we came together to be one family. We was always one family. Yeah. Since I've been born, I've known Lee. Since I've been born, I've known Kaya. She's been in the picture. She's been in our home living with us, whether it was for a short period of time. She went and stayed with her mom. She would come back with us. I don't know what the schedule was when we were younger, because from my understanding, she always lived with us. Yeah. So she was always our sister.
Yeah. And what do you say to, this new generation of blended families when you see all of the chaos? And because you saw a lot, you saw stuff on your dad's side, you saw things on our side. And speak to the effect of when you see like differences of the modern blended families and when you have that middle, child.
I think it falls on the parents because with whatever went on with adults, we never seen it. One thing we just never seen it. We never seen the arguments. We never seen whatever was happening behind closed doors with the adults. We just knew that we were siblings and we had to act like we were siblings. And that's the standard that y'all set for us. Even on my dad's side, like with my other siblings, they all have different moms. Whatever was going on with you and their mothers, we never seen it. Yeah. Anything that was going on with you and my dad, I never seen it. I never heard of it. You never talked bad about him. You never say any, like, it was never it was nothing bad about those relationships that we seen or heard.
Yeah.
It was always about the kids. Y'all made it about us. And I feel like nowadays the parents can't get along and they're arguing, they're putting their feelings before the kids.
Yeah.
And at this point, when kids are involved, it's not about you no more. You got to deal with that on your own behind closed doors, because when it becomes a tit for tat thing, like I see it every day with me being a teacher, with the parents picking up, oh, the dad is picking the kid up, but it's not his week. Now the mom is throwing a fit in front of school. It's like, it's like everything is not, I feel like especially mothers want the kids to know, oh, it's not me, it's your dad. It's not me, it's your dad. One thing I would say, kids will see it for themselves. You don't have to say anything.
Yes.
If whoever is the bad parent, the kid will see it.
Yes.
Whoever's the good parent, the kids will see it. Whoever is there and showing up, the kid will see it. I think that parents look at their kids like, oh, they don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Kids know more than you think they know. And I'm still learning that as a teacher. Sometimes I be looking at them like, how the heck you know that?
Yeah.
Kids know more than we think that they know. So you don't have to put it in your kid's face that, oh, I'm the one that take care of you. Yeah. I pay for your lunch. I pay for your field trip. We'll fall back. He not doing nothing. You don't need to put that in their face. You don't need, it does so much bad things to kids that parents don't even realize.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. They will see that for themselves. I promise you they will see. I seen it that I was with my mom full time. I wasn't with my dad full time. There were times that my dad was there, was times that my dad wasn't. I seen that for myself. My mother didn't need to sit me down and say, hey, your father said he can't make it today because he ain't doing nothing. He at home. Like that, you don't need to do that. You just don't need to do that. And I think that that's the problem now with co-parenting. Just put the kids first. Put your feelings aside. And I'm not even saying put your feelings aside. You have to deal with your emotions and your feelings and your trauma. But go to a therapist. Go to a therapist.
Facts.
You can go through your insurance. It's free. Talk to somebody. Go to a therapist.
No, that's
Deal
true.
with that so that you can be the best parent that you can be for your kid.
Sure.
If the father is not showing up or the mother is not showing up, let them not show up. You don't need to have that conversation with your kid unless they're like in a teenage age and they're actually asking those questions. But until they get to that point where they're asking those questions, you don't need to sit down and specifically tell your child why their mother is absent, why their father is absent. Oh, he got all those other kids. He taking care of them other kids, but he don't care about you. Yeah. You don't need to say that. They can see that for themselves.
And I think that's what it was for me. Yeah. You know, just as you guys' mom, because I knew that, you know, he would be like, dads, 3 dads, you know, have a husband, two fathers prior to. But I always wanted to make sure that I never put them in a bad light in you all's eyes. Because at the end of the day, what was going on between us had nothing to do with you guys. And do you feel in wrapping this up in a sense with being a middle sibling, do you think when it comes to the parents, how big of a role is it of theirs to play in that sibling rivalry or lack thereof rivalry, if it's any there at all?
I feel like it depends on the kid. I feel like as a parent, you know your kid. Like with us, y'all knew that y'all can step back and we can deal with it on our own. Yeah. Sometimes you may have kids that just can't deal with each other and they can't conflict resolution on their own. You have to be that mediator between them. I feel like you guys knew us. We were all mature in our own way. We all had our strengths in our own way. So we could come together and resolve issues. We didn't need y'all to be there for us and to sit down in the room with us and figure out what was going on. We can do that literally on our own within a matter of seconds, within a matter of minutes. Because again, we were the siblings that was like, look, Kaya, be quiet. You was wrong. Abby, shut up. You talk too much. You always think you right. Like that's how we talk to each other because that's just the relationship we had. We weren't trying to be rude or disrespectful. Right. That was just our way of communicating with each other. Yeah. And we didn't have a problem with telling each other what it was. And I feel like siblings struggle with that. Some people struggle with just hearing that they're wrong. Yeah. Hearing that you're not right, like we were talking about last week. Being a yes man, whether that's a friendship, a relationship, or siblings. Yeah. People like to hear that they're right all the time and they don't like to hear that they're wrong. So Yeah, we didn't need y'all to come in and try to mold us to be any way with each other. We already had that under control with ourselves because we knew as sibling, we knew what a good positive relationship should look like because y'all put that in front of us. So we had no choice but to, you know, integrate that into our relationship with each other.
And I was going to ask you that too. How did you guys think we navigated that? Because we were a blended family, with Kaya coming in and at such a young age, which I'm so grateful for because like you said, you didn't know a difference, because of how everything was being, how we were all together. How do you see, what do you say to, how Lee and I, and even your dad, how we integrated that in to make sure that you as a middle child, because again, you're the middle child on both sides. How do you feel like we help navigate, or if we help navigate that for you? In a light where you didn't feel like you was being pulled in one direction or the other, or you spoke on you didn't feel left out. How did that dynamic look on your dad's side?
It was totally different on my dad's side, only because I didn't visit him as much and I didn't live under the same roof as younger. I was often with him.
Yeah.
But I was the baby at that time. So it wasn't a middle child type of thing. I was the baby and I got all the attention.
Yeah.
I was literally the baby girl of that family. So that side was a little bit different. I didn't feel like a middle child. I don't think I ever really felt like a middle child. Now I feel like the older child slash middle child because I'm older and I have more responsibility. And then my younger siblings, especially my little sister, she also thinks that I'm a walking ATM and then I'm supposed to do everything for her and I'm supposed to move when she wants me to move. Always World War III. So it's like I don't even feel like the middle child, but I feel like the older child when it comes to her specifically.
Yeah.
So it was a different view on that side, only because I didn't live over there in that household. So it was either younger sibling or older sibling over there. Yeah. It was never really, and even sometimes still, I feel like the baby because I have older siblings on that side, and I still get treated like the baby. I'm definitely a daddy's girl. So yeah, it was never a middle child feeling on that side.
And what I really, really appreciate about you per se is that you balance well on both sides.
Yeah.
More so now as an adult because you have more control over your life a little bit as opposed to when you were younger and I would catch the bus to go get your two sisters at the time. Well, Tanae, your three sisters at the time, I would go and get them and so that you guys can spend time together. And looking at the dynamic that you have, even with your sisters on your dad's side, their siblings, with Marcus and Mike and Tanae and them, you all almost like a blended sibling over there too, even though it's different moms. I appreciate the balance that you hold, in a sense of being the middle child over on your dad's side and over here on my side because you are just like you are the go-to. People always ask, Shelley, your kids, how are they? What part of them of you? So I know the part that each one of my kids are of me. I want to see if she knows. So you tell me, what part do you think Milan holds of me, Kaya holds of me, you hold of me, Shy and Dude? What part? So in a sense, okay, I'm gonna give an example, y'all. So like I got the ghetto side, the professional side. What side do you? What part of me is? I know the talkative part is in all of y'all.
The talkative part is in all of us. The attitude is in all of us. I think I'm more so of like when you say code switching, like you can have that ghetto side, but I know how to switch it up and be professional. Yeah. So I think I got that more side of you. I think Milan is more so the creative side of you.
Yeah.
I think Kaya could be more like the chill side, but ready to go at all times type of side. I think Cheyenne is
My hood side.
Shine's very ghetto. Shine's very ghetto. She's a little too ghetto. Very much the ghetto southeast side. Yes, the long nails from the 90s back in the day, that's Cheyenne for sure. And Josiah is just that very chill, mellow side. That's just very chill.
Yeah. Well, y'all trust and believe she made all of that make sense. Like, because she depicted, she put it out there, and everything of how the inner of me are in each of one of my children. She hit the nail on the head, and Shy and I talk about that all the time, about her being the ghetto part of me. Milan is too, but Milan is she is the more creative side. But yeah, you hit that nail on the head with all of those depictions. Even with Kaya, you know what I mean, because she's been within with us for all most of her life, and she is that cool, copacetic, but don't hit the switch. Yeah. My God, it's a whole flip side. And I just, me being you guys' mom, has just really been a joy, a pleasure and honor. Because not that we haven't had our stuff, or any mistakes were made, you know what I mean? We've just been able to just rally around each other, and you guys are like the biggest support that any person could ever want in their family. And I appreciate you coming on and just, speaking with the people, and sharing what that middle child syndrome really looked like, or what it looked like for us, let me say it that way. Because, when you look at different dynamics, and especially this modern day sibling thing, it's just no one is there for each other. And I just don't understand how you can be siblings, blood or not. Yeah. Blood or not. Let's make that very clear. Blood does not make you relatives. Blood does not make you sisters, brothers, cousins, or anything like that. But to have our blended family have so much love within it. Yeah. And I'm just grateful that I am who I am, because I just had it always in my head that there was going to be no drama. Yeah. Through my children, I don't care the disagreements. You can have disagreements because you're all different. Yeah. You can have misunderstandings, because that's what life is. Life can be misunderstood. You can have where I think I'm right, you are wrong, whatever that may look like. But you all have never, and I don't think you would have let it happen anyway, but you all have never been in a space where you hated each other. No, we don't all get on the phone and talk, but that's why we're in that family group text. Yeah. And so that we can, because life is going on with everybody. You all are adults, you all have your own families, your own life, your own homes to take care of. But in the middle child syndrome, how what advice can you give to others to say how they can navigate if they are not on one accord? What advice would you give blended families, and or if it's not blended but you're that middle child? Speak to the people just a little bit on how they can maybe navigate that for themselves to make it easier.
I say if you're a middle sibling, I just would say speak up. If you have, and it's hard to say speak up because you may not have that family that's open when it comes to communication. If what I know now, if I knew then, I would have been like, look, Mom and Lee, I know y'all look at me as a responsible sibling, but I need y'all to reel back a little bit because I have to, find my own lane. My lane is not to be the responsible sibling. I'm not here to be the responsible sibling. So, and that shouldn't be put on a sibling to be the responsible sibling for the rest of them, because then it makes you feel like you have no room to make mistakes. You have to be perfect all the time. And if you're not, then it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I just messed up. When really that's not the case. Yeah. So I would just say, speak up. and voice how you feel. You rather you want to be that responsible sibling or you don't, but speak up and advocate for yourself that I cannot hold on the pressure of being that sibling for the rest of them or whatever the case may be, so that you can find your own lane and find your own identity and be who you want, who you want to be.
But listen here, I think, and I hope y'all think that Miss Irie here made it make sense today. And so thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, Irie, for showing up and showing out as I knew you would. Because she came from me, all right? But thank you, baby, for just coming on and just, speaking on the middle child syndrome, because I know that it wasn't always easy. You made it look easy, but I know it wasn't always easy. And I would say, let us not put all that pressure on. But thank you guys for pulling up a seat, sitting down with Shelley today, where here we was able to make it make sense. Now, remember, if any of this that we talked about today sat with you, you felt it a little bit, or it could feel or be felt from someone else, make sure you like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on another episode. We want you here with us. Have a sit down with us, with a sit down with Shelley, where we here make it make sense.